Hello everybody, my name is Ryan Snaadt at Rhymes with Odd, and welcome to this session of the FBA conference. Really excited to be chatting with you guys today. Hopefully you can hear and see me okay. Today we're going to be talking about all things mastering YouTube. So really exciting session here. I want to just share as much insight as we can in our little session that we have here, and we can answer questions for you live afterwards as well. But the session is going to focus on the 6 steps to ranking videos in search results. So using YouTube to improve your health and fitness business. So let me just get you down here to the floating mode, and we'll show you the agenda and we'll get started here. All right, so we've got about 45 minutes or so for this, and we'll also have questions at the end. So if you have any questions, make sure to jot them down. Just want to give you a quick run through of what the agenda is so you know what you're going to get out of this session. So we're going to cover really how YouTube can be used as an evergreen lead generation funnel for your business, which sounds pretty crazy and some kind of like crazy thing that is unrealistic, but it's very real. Then we're going to step into the 6 steps you can take to master your YouTube SEO and rank your videos in your search results. Then we're going to move into a really strong long-form strategy for success on YouTube that you can use by repurposing the content you make for YouTube to use on your other channels. We're going to talk about how to build new digital revenue streams by offering paid memberships, courses, and making revenue from the ads on your videos. So taking YouTube and actually turning it into a revenue stream for your business, and then just giving you a really clear roadmap to get started. So those are kind of my things that I want to try to achieve with this session here. We're going to have a lot of fun stuff to talk about, so I want to jump right into it. But before we do, I want to kind of talk a little bit about who I am and why I'm a trustworthy person to talk to, because you always want to make sure you're getting your insight from somebody that knows what they're talking about. So real quick, my story. My name is Ryan Snaadt at Rhymes with Odd. I own a video marketing business based here in central Iowa called Snaadt Media Group, and we specialize with health and fitness brands, helping them take their marketing to the next level. I had the opportunity last year to speak here at FBA about all stuff video marketing for gyms and stuff like that. So if they have that insight somewhere else, you can maybe watch the recordings there. But today we're not going to be talking about video marketing specifically. We're going to be talking about all the stuff around YouTube. So YouTube is definitely an underappreciated place. I've been on YouTube for probably about a decade now. And that's kind of a part of my story and why I think it'll be really helpful for you guys to learn from some of the stuff that I've been doing in the last couple of years. So I started my business in college, so about 6 or 7 years ago, started shooting fitness, health and fitness related content. And I was shooting workout videos in my dorm room, like my workouts and my dieting and stuff like that. And I started on YouTube and I put out 52 videos in a year, so 1 video per week. And my channel completely flopped. So if you guys have attempted YouTube and that's why you're on this call, you want to learn more about it, I'm there. I've been there. It's definitely a hardship place there. So I started, like I said, 7 years ago on YouTube and put out 50 videos. Nobody was watching them. And then I took a year off and I realized that I needed to do some very strategic things with my channel. And I saw other businesses that were really thriving in my space. And that's really what gave me some insight to do some of the things that I've been doing thus far. So like I said, started with my YouTube channel. I graduated, ended up continuing on with my business full time, helping helping fitness brands, sports teams, and local gyms and stuff like that use video to market and help themselves out. So transitioned my channel over, started doing a bunch of different stuff, which we won't get into because it'll take most of the session to kind of tell my life story here. But really what helped out was, like I said, I started doing this as a fun thing, shooting freelance work, and that whole fitness thing directed me to what I'm doing now. So like I said, I run a media production company that's focused in the fitness industry full time. And then from that stuff on YouTube that we'll talk about in a bit, I've actually launched 2 online course products that teach and educate people all things about videography, how to shoot fitness videos, how to start a business in this space, and a lot of really cool things have happened from that. So there's a lot of really cool things that can come from YouTube specifically, and we'll talk about that in a bit on how YouTube's different than other social media platforms and why you should really be focusing on this space in your business. So really some of the results that I wanted to share really quick before we get into the topic, just to see what's possible and what I've done with my business the last 7 years. So I've had a channel for a couple of years now, and as you'll see here, I've had almost 10 million impressions with my channel. I have 13,000 subscribers currently, and have about 1 million views on my channel. So looking at certain KPIs, as we'll talk about here, like with social media, if you only focus on followers instead of the engagement and the stuff that we're doing with converting people into sales and stuff like that, those are the things we're going to try and focus on in this session. So like I said, I've started 2 online education businesses that have spearheaded from my YouTube channel. I get about 10 to 30 new leads per week from opt-in funnels that I built on my channel, which we'll talk about how you can do that too. Really cool thing is I've started a Facebook group that I've funneled people from my channel to that has over 90,000 members that I use as a pool for customers that I can sell my digital products to later on. My video business has actually grown quite a bit because people have found me on YouTube and hired me to shoot different projects and grown my team that way. I've been asked to come speak and do different things like what we're doing now, talking at conferences and stuff like that. And then I've also had brand deals and other monetization that I've done with my channel as well. So as you can see, there's a lot of really cool things that can come from having an established YouTube channel for your brand, not just putting out cool videos and having people watch them, but using it as a tool to attract people in and then selling them things later on or helping nurture your business and become customers later on as well. So that's what we're going to talk about today, is really how to use your YouTube channel effectively, how to be very strategic, and really how I grew my channel and have helped other clients grow their channels effectively, because there's a very strategic strategy on how to do this. So really the thing that we want to focus here is why YouTube and why now? And I think a lot of people, like I said, compare this to social media and think, well, what the heck's the difference, Ryan? There's no real, what makes this better or different than other things out there? And I would encourage you to stay through the session because I'm going to explain all those things and talk about specifically how you can do this as well. So the first thing is that you can monetize beyond your brick and mortar location. So if you are a smaller business, maybe you have a couple locations, this is something that's going to be really helpful because you can expand past just, okay, we can only have 200 maximum students. There's only so much revenue the business can make, and we're kind of capped unless we open another location. Huge problem that I see with a lot of my clients. So I encourage a lot of them to look at the way that YouTube can attract people, that you can sell digital product, you can have merchandise. There's other things that you can do to monetize your brand that then you can sell to a national or international audience. And that really does open you up to a lot more monetization options. So that's the first thing. Second is a consistent flow of leads. I've seen some really great things with my own channel. Like I said, I get about 10 to 30 new people in my email list per week for free on autopilot because I've ranked certain videos, and those things bring in new leads for me every single week. Next is really attracting your ideal audience. That's what this is going to help you guys stand out from. Becoming the authority in your space, which is super, super helpful to be the person in that space. Evergreen exposure, like I said, I've had videos that have ranked for months and months ago, even years ago, that still get views to this day, and that helps me get more attention. And then also really helping meet your future customers at their point of need. So we'll talk about that in a bit. YouTube is more of a search engine than anything else, so it's similar to when people Google you, you want to show up top of results. We'll talk about how you can do that with your YouTube channel as well. So again, I just want to touch on some of the differences before we jump into the tactics here so you know the difference between social media and YouTube. So like I mentioned, Facebook is a different type of user platform. So people are using it to pass time. They're in line at the auto shop. They're waiting for their kid in the carpool line. People are just scrolling to waste time. So the intent is to socialize. There's short-term suppressed content, meaning that videos that you post on your Facebook, your Instagram, TikTok, they only have about 3 days of shelf life before they become irrelevant or they're suppressed by the newsfeed. So the other piece of this is that social media typically wants you to the way they make money is because you have to pay to reach more people. You have to boost posts. You have to run ads. That's how Facebook, Instagram, all these places make money. So it's super important to note that. So they're really suppressing your business content because they want you to pay for it to reach out to it. So the next piece is also that it's going to limit your business account reach to make you boost the post. So again, understanding the difference between this and YouTube is critical because if you know what YouTube wants, you just give YouTube what it wants and it's going to give you what you want. So that's the social media side. It's really quick. It's social. You have to really just grab and go with content, and you have to pay to play in a lot of these ways. They're going to be suppressing your content. So adversely to that, YouTube is search-based. People are coming to YouTube to find something. You want to learn how to play piano, change the oil in your car, install that stupid car seat that your kid has in the back seat. People are going there to learn things. So the intent is to learn, to buy, and be inspired. So that's really, really important for you as a brand because we're going to look at the long-term evergreen content. So a good example for folks that are here, maybe it's intermittent fasting. You have a diet plan that you guys put out with your gym, and you talk about intermittent fasting. You can make a video about intermittent fasting and why it's important. And if someone's looking up intermittent fasting to figure out if that's a good diet strategy for them, they could find your video. They find you as the thought leader in that space, and then that's what projects them into maybe opting into your lead list, becoming a customer, buying a diet plan, and those types of things, which we'll talk about. So really just imagine people are at that search bar, they're looking for information, and you're going to be the one that's going to solve it for them. The other piece here, which I want to note before we go on, is that the way that YouTube makes money is by running ads on popular videos. So the reason that this is super important is because if you make a really good video that gets people's attention, YouTube will run ads on it and they're going to make money. So they're going to continue to promote good content that gets views and gets people that keep on and keep watching. So it really encourages you to make trending videos, and channels that grab attention and hold viewers are going to get free promotion through the platform, which is super, super important here. And again, we're going to talk about this more in a bit, but that one change, that one little difference is why YouTube has been such an important, impactful thing to my business personally, and a lot of my other clients that I encourage to put their stuff on YouTube, because it just really helps you rank and get in front of the right people, and it encourages you to promote really good content. So we're moving in here to some quick stats here. 95% of information, this is a study that I read through Social Media Week that was done a couple years ago. They gave two different things. They gave written text that you had to read, which was like a paragraph. They had somebody read it, try to remember it verbatim. Then they gave a video about the exact same topic. It was just a talking head like this of me reading the script, and 95% of people retained the information that was in the video compared to 10% via text. So as we know, this is super, super important. Video is never going to go away. It's going to continue to become more and more impactful. As you can see, you're learning through this entire conference through video. So it's just going to continue to be something that you need to be really taking seriously, and something that is going to be a priority in your business if you want to stand out and be relevant. So I'll show you really quick here. The next slide is really important here, and you guys can screenshot this. We can also give you guys the slides afterwards if you need to. We'll give you information about that at the end. But this is kind of the buyer's journey, how people are going to find you and become a customer through YouTube. So you make a YouTube video that ranks for something in search, say intermittent fasting. People watch the video, they seem really interested. Then they don't just watch and leave. Here's what they want to do. You're going to make money on the front end on AdSense, which is Google running ads on your videos. There are a couple caveats to that. You have to have 1,000 subscribers and 10,000 hours of watch time, which sounds crazy, but it'll be very achievable for you if you start putting videos out. So when I say make money on YouTube, most people think of this stuff on the left here, the AdSense. That's just the tip of the iceberg though. So what I really push for here with the video side is to get people to opt in. So like we said, hey guys, this is an intermittent fasting video, blah, 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 blah. If you want our free intermittent fasting guide, feel free to go to our website and download it here. And then we put it in the description box. So that's really this is the main thing we're trying to do, is get the opt-in, get somebody to sign up for a free thing, watch a free training, give you their email or their information so they can get into your funnel and get started. The other piece of this is you could also sell one-off stuff like merchandise, t-shirts, hats, product sales. There's so many other things on this right column near merch and product sales that we won't get into today because it's not really relevant to this group here. But I think there's about 7 to 9 different ways that I've monetized my YouTube channel. So lots of different ways you can do that. But we're going back to the middle here. We get this opt-in, say they opt in on our website, they go into our funnel. Then we start doing email nurturing, which you guys are all familiar with, warming people up to then purchase. So this is really, really great to become a primary offer. If there's somebody local that wants to come into your gym or your business and become a member, that's really great. The other piece is if you're selling something digital, you can do this and you can sell this anywhere. So this is the typical flow that I've done for my business, where I teach online education courses. So people watch a video, they opt into one of my downloads, and then I begin email marketing to them to purchase my primary offer and go down further for the funnel. So hopefully that didn't completely scare you guys. This is just a general overview of how you're going to use your channel to grow your business, right? The first step is getting people to the videos, which we'll talk about how to rank videos in just one slide more. We're going to get into that. And then this is really what the overview, 10,000 foot view of how you use your channel is. So I wanted to kind of preclude this in the front so you know what's going on as we go forward here. So moving on here. This is what everybody came here for, right? The 6 steps to ranking your videos. And I'm a huge fan of alliteration, so I made them all the 6 R's of ranking videos. Okay, so the 6 R's are research, record, rank, remarket, review, and repeat. So again, you guys can screenshot this. We'll also have these available for you at the end. If you need, I can just send them over to you in an email. That'll be really simple to do. But this is really the 6-step process that I've used to rank multiple videos. I have many videos that have hundreds of thousands of views. I think my highest video, which we'll talk about, has about 270,000 views from following this exact process. So it's been tested. It works. It's something that is easy to remember because there's a lot of R's in there too. And my name's Ryan, so it helps me remember it that way. So, okay. So my question for you before we get into the steps specifically is, what topics are your ideal customers searching for on YouTube or Google? This is a really important thing, and it's got to be more specific topic based than yoga or Pilates Des Moines or whatever it is that you offer. We're not talking about those specific things. Let's go a step deeper. If I'm interested in yoga and Pilates, what would I be looking for that you could potentially rank a video for? So how to do a Warrior 3 pose, or how to do proper squat form, or how to clean and press something if you're an Olympic weightlifting gym. Whatever offer that you have, go a step deeper. What are the things that you're answering on a daily or a monthly basis for people that come in about technique or education or nutrition or exercise? Those are the things that you want to just like make a list of and put them somewhere as video ideas. So the really big secret here is to meet your audience at the bar, as I always say, and not the local watering hole, but the search bar. So really ask those questions. What are your customers searching for? If you just type in how to on YouTube, all these things start popping up, and this is really where we're trying to rank our videos for. So frequently asked questions, those are the first place to start. If you hear things, how do you properly do Warrior 3 pose? You hear that 3 times a week from your students or your members, make a video on that. That's a really great idea to do. The next step is really, which topics they research before buying your product. So if they're considering joining a gym or buying a product or a service, what are those questions they're typically asking for? Those are great things to look at as well. And then the last piece is goal keywords that I always look for, things that have high demand and low volume, which we'll talk about in a second. But essentially, people are going to the store, they're looking for a certain type of bread, they go to the bread aisle, and there's like 3 things, and that's it. The entire aisle's empty. Those are the things that we're looking for in terms of search terms, that a lot of people are going looking for that in the grocery store as the example, and they can't find it. Those are the things we're trying to rank for and help people out immensely. Okay, so first step, like we said, is research, or in this case, keyword research. The 2 tools that I use, one is just Google, just searching things and seeing what comes up. But there are 2 free tools. Actually, one of them is paid now, this Keywords Everywhere, that I recommend people use. So the first is TubeBuddy. They have a paid version, but you can use it for free. And this basically tells you a lot of data on any YouTube video that you see. It's a free Google plugin, Google Chrome extension. There's a paid version, but you can do the free one, which is what I recommend. I also started using another tool called Keywords Everywhere, which this is a screenshot of. It basically gives you a volume or a search per month for every single term you'd put into a search bar. So if you type in GoPro photography into YouTube, the volume is 1,300 people a month search that type of video. So what we're trying to do is find a video that has 1,000 to 5,000 searches per month. So there's quite a few people looking for it, and that has a pretty low competition. So that's really what I'm trying to do with these 2 tools here. And we'll talk about how we use them in a second. But that's just going to give you an idea of those 2 tools. So TubeBuddy is a great one, and then Keywords Everywhere is another great one as well. So after we've done the keyword research, which I should probably tell you how you do that. So what you would do is you'd go into the search bar and you would type in, let's say, intermittent fasting. Say that's a really good term, which it's not. It's very general, but maybe how to build a week diet or a week-long diet on intermittent fasting. Maybe that would be your term. There's a lot of, that's a perfect one. It fits the criteria. Everything looks good. Then we're like, okay, we'll put it on our list and we'll make a video about it. So then we go into record, which is the second step. Record a searchable video. So with the GoPro photography example in 2019, I looked up GoPro photography, found it as a really good term. And what I did was I looked through all the different videos and I made a list of all the ones that I liked. And then I made a top 10 list of all the different tips that were covered. And then I made my own additions and I made a just quick little video here. So GoPro photography tips, I shot it. This clearly wasn't super highly produced. I mean, I have a light and a mic and that's about it. It wasn't over the top or anything like that. I shot it, I put it up, and I didn't really think anything of it. And now this video currently has over 230,000 views. It's gotten a lot of subscribers to my channel, and it's all about videography, photography, that type of thing. So that's the second step, is just to record the searchable video. The third step is R, which is rank. So ranking the video is the really hot thing, especially in search. You don't just post it and then hope it goes viral. That's really not what we're chasing, but we're trying to rank it for virality. So as you can see here, this is that GoPro photography video. As you'll see here, it says I posted it in December of 2018. So right at the end of 2018, I posted it. And then in March of 2019, it already had 4,200 views because it had ranked for GoPro photography. So this is really the secret sauce here, which is really the cornerstone of how you actually rank. You have to remember, Google owns YouTube. So what it's trying to do is if someone types in GoPro photography, you're trying to make it so Google says, okay, if they're looking for this term, they want to watch this video that Ryan made because it's exactly what they want. So there's a couple things that I did here. The first step is the title. So as you'll see here, let me switch slides over here. Oops, I think I double clicked it over here. Yep, so before I publish a video, the first step is having a good title. So we talked about GoPro photography is the main thing here. So the title of the video is GoPro photography tips and best ideas. So I put that in the very first line of my title. The next is a thumbnail. So it was just a really engaging picture. I don't have a picture of it here in the slide deck, but it was just a really cool picture that I took on a GoPro. It was like a first person with my hand sticking out. So that thumbnail is very, very important. That's the preview picture that you're going to see before you click on the video. The next step is the description box. So I'm putting the words GoPro photography in that first paragraph of the description box as many times as I can. So as you were seeing here, I say, today we're talking about GoPro photography and my tips for capturing better quality photos with GoPros and action cameras. I still shoot with a GoPro Hero 4. As you'll see here, I said GoPro photography like 3 or 4 times in the first couple sentences. This is, again, to signal to YouTube, hey, this video is about GoPro photography. If people are looking for this, you need to check this out. So that's a description box. The next step is tags. So with the tags, as you'll see here, this is a screenshot of the Keywords Everywhere plugin on YouTube. It'll just show you where these things rank. And these little green buttons here tell you of all the search terms in the entire world, where your search term lies when people search that topic. So GoPro photography ideas, it's the #1 result. GoPro photography, it's the #1 result. GoPro photo ideas, #1 result. As you'll see, all of these, or actually most of them, are top 3 or 4 for all these different related terms to GoPro photography. Again, really trying to nail that down so when people look up GoPro photography, I'm not just posting the video and running, I am posting the video, I'm putting the title, the thumbnail, the description box, the tags, everything is pointed towards GoPro photography. So again, think about it in terms of your business. How do you do this for your business with any subtopic that you talk about? So we'll go back here to the deck. The next last 2 here are captions. So interestingly enough, you can also put hashtags, which are just these little ones here, like hashtag GoPro photography, whatnot. All you have to do is just type that into the description box and it'll automatically populate there. But this last piece to captions, which a lot of people are kind of surprised as YouTube auto transcribes all of the content that people post. So if I'm making a video about GoPro photography, I would say, hey everybody, my name's Ryan. Today we're going to talk about GoPro photography ideas and how you can take better pictures on your GoPro. In that first, 10 seconds, I'm 1, explaining to people what the video is about, but 2, Google is auto-transcribing everything I say and weaving that into the metadata of my video, so it's telling them, hey, he talks about GoPro photography in the first couple seconds, this must be about GoPro photography. So this is really the secret sauce, guys. If you're wanting to rank videos in search, if you follow these couple steps here with the title, thumbnail, the description box, tags, captions, and hashtags, all these things point to one key term that you've researched that looks like a good one to talk about. That's how you're going to rank your videos in search and how you're going to really expand your business quite a bit. So once I did this, I started to realize, okay, if that worked for GoPro photography, what about other types of video marketing, other things that I do in my business that my channel is about? So that's really what I did, and I started ranking other videos for topics that have, now there's a couple of them that have over 100,000 views. A bunch of things, especially if it's about a low funnel topic, if someone's going to purchase from you, then that's really when the magic happens and you can start capturing leads and getting sales and customers and that thing from that. So hopefully I'm not losing everybody here. I'm going to go into the next one, which is Remarket. So after you've made the video, you've recorded it, you've posted it, and everything's up, you've ranked the video. Now we want to move into sharing it all over social media wherever you can. So the main places I suggest are your website, blog, all of your social media channels, and then obviously your email list. So your business typically has all 3 of these things. This is a really good thing. If you've already made the video, this is great to put on your blog because, again, it's just going to help with SEO. It's going to help improve how things are going. Okay, so the other piece of this as well, which is remarketing. I like to take all of my YouTube videos that are educational, that maybe they're 8 to 10 minutes long or whatnot, take those videos and turn those into micro pieces. And what I use to call this is called big rock content. So what this is just a marketing strategy you can do. So you'll shoot this long form piece, which is this big boulder here in the middle. So it's going to be a podcast, a YouTube video that you're teaching something, a webinar, speech, interview, product demo, whatever it is, a longer form piece of content. And you're going to, when you're editing it, you'll just cut out some of the smaller pieces that are interesting, like a 30-second clip, and you'll share those on your social media platforms from that long piece. So you'll have a piece that goes on Twitter, or a piece on your LinkedIn or Instagram or your blog or your Facebook, wherever you want to post these things. And that's really going to help you get more out of your content. So if you're going to take the time to make a YouTube video, don't just post it on YouTube, post it all over the place with those little tiny chunks as well. Biggest advice that I can give you there to make your life a lot easier, so you're not making videos every 3 days and you're constantly editing and shooting. We want to make this as simple as possible. You shoot one video and you can use it all over the place. So then the next R here in the step is review and analyze, as I like to say. So reviewing is basically which videos are ranking and doing well and why. So it's looking at your analytics and trying to figure out how those things are good. So again, this can be very daunting if you're a newbie to YouTube and you don't know what numbers to be looking at. And this can all be accessed in your YouTube studio. So the main thing really that I want to emphasize is that YouTube cares about just a few key performance indicators or certain data points that is going to tell them this video is worth watching and worth promoting to more people. The first is click-through rate. So the click-through rate is basically the percentage of people who saw the thumbnail on their home screen and they clicked to watch the video. Really good click-through rates are anything over 10%. So if 100 people saw your video on their homepage and 10 of them clicked to watch it, YouTube starts to fire its algorithms and say, okay, this video is really good. This should be seen by more people. So you want to really shoot for something 10% or more. And you'll see if you start looking at your videos, the ones that have a very low click-through rate, YouTube won't promote them because they're going to promote the ones that people click on, right? So that's the first step, is click-through rate. The next step is having good amount of views. So obviously the number of views that it has that are past 10 seconds is going to tell YouTube, okay, if people are watching this, they're actually clicking and they're watching past 10 seconds, then we should promote this to more people. So that's the second step. And then the third step is watch time. So again, watch time is very simple. It's how much time people spent watching your videos. If you have a 20-minute video and people clicked, they watch past 10 seconds, but they bounce after a minute and your video is 20 minutes, it's telling YouTube that this is not a very interesting video, or you didn't actually deliver on what you said, or people aren't interested in general. So we want to avoid that altogether and basically shoot and edit and produce good videos that get people's attention, solve their problems, and keep them on as long as possible. If you can keep a watch time of 50% or more, so people watch half your video or more, that tells YouTube that you really are a good video producer. They're going to continue to promote your stuff constantly all over the place. So okay, and then the last step, obviously, is repeat. So once you find a good video that's performed well, you found your secret sauce, or what in that video got people's attention, what got a good click-through rate, watch time, what got views. Now we just test and we find what works, right? So this could be a talking head like we're doing right here. This could be a interview podcast, like a video podcast. This could be a training session with one of your personal trainers, whatever you guys want to do that's going to find, and then just get in a rhythm. Share a few videos every week to 2 weeks, whatever kind of rhythm it is for you, and then start batch shooting for a few videos at once to really simplify creating videos. So if you're doing, let's say, personal training tip of the week or whatever, just get one of your personal trainers for an hour or 2 hours and shoot 3 or 4 videos, and now you've got an entire month's worth of content, and you've only shot for 2 hours and you're done really quick. So huge advocate for batch shooting. I do it for my business with almost all my clients. It's super important to get more bang for your buck and shoot more out of that as well. So really the power of organic search here, and this is why YouTube is the topic of this conversation here today, is it's all based on organic search. So it's a strategy, which is ranking for certain topics, plus finding your hungry audience that's out there looking for those topics, and then you just do this over time, and that's what's going to equal your success for you. So again, super critical. Those steps are how I've ranked a lot of my videos, how I've grown my business and opened up 2 other businesses that I've offered digital products for, because people just found me through organic search. I wasn't trying to go viral. I'm just trying to go time, intention, follow this process, and it'll work. So that's the 6 steps. We'll also answer questions about that at the end on the live session, but really we're going to transition into, now we know how to rank videos, but what makes a good video? I think that's a really important thing that people need to know is, how do you make a good video? What structures are there? So the things that I always tell people is, okay, now I know I want to make YouTube videos. What should I talk about? The step here, looks like my format got messed up, but the 3 steps that I would suggest you do, or 3 types of videos to look at, would be 1, education. Always start there, especially if you're a business. That's the safe spot. Start in education, and then you can move into inspiration, which is what this is supposed to be here. Inspiration content, motivating people to work out, eat better, talk about success stories. Those things are inspiration. People go to YouTube for that. And then the last piece is entertainment. So if it's funny, entertaining, people enjoy it, that's the last piece. And then also, if you can make a video that does all three of these, it's going to go viral. I mean, I've seen so many of these, like if it grabs your attention, if it inspires you, if you learn something and you have a laugh, I mean, that's the trifecta in terms of something that's super awesome to watch and something that people are going to watch and share with their friends, right? So this is another step here. Another more secretive thing that I like to do here is my long form video structure for conversions. So people say, okay, how do you structure your videos to make them actually stick around, watch for a long time, and then purchase? And I would say that this is kind of the structure that I've found to work pretty well. So I call it the I am Echo structure. It's an acronym for intro, ask, meet, engagement, call to action, and outro. And again, you can screenshot this if you want, or we can give it to you at the end. If you just send me an email, I'll talk about that at the end. But really, this is the structure that I found that gets people's attention and makes people stay for a longer amount of time, right? So let's talk about the steps. One is the intro, and the intros need to be hot. And what I don't mean like turn up your thermostat in your house, but what I mean by that is it's called hook, outcome, and testimonial. So what that means is the intros need to have those three elements to get people interested and to watch the video and actually stick past 5 seconds. So a good intro for like this session here would be, what's going on, guys? My name's Ryan Snaadt. It rhymes with odd. In this session, in this video, we're going to watch how I created a 13,000 subscriber YouTube channel that has over 10 million views, and I'm going to teach you guys how to do it as well. So right away, I'm hooking them by talking about the topic, the outcome, which is how they're going to get YouTube subscribers and reach that level of success. And then the testimonial, or the T in hot, is I've done it, and I can show screenshots of my account and showing proof that I've done it, right? So for your video, maybe it's yoga, right? So in today's video, we're going to talk about how to do yoga 3 position, or warrior 3, position. We've been teaching this for, 5 years, blah, blah, blah. This is a great piece to add to your yoga practice and can make you blah, 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 blah. And here's Becky, who's been doing it for weeks, and now her practice is exactly where you want to be. Something like that is good. Hook, outcome, testimonial, intro. So once you get their attention with that, then you move into the ask, which a lot of people kind of give me crap about this, but I like to make an ask right away in the very beginning of the video because a lot of people aren't going to stick around to the very end to hear my call to action. So I like to preface it right away in the beginning, mention it, and then go on with the rest. So the ask is to encourage them to comment, or if you have an opt-in that's relevant, that you mention that right away, some soft ask before you get into the meat of the video. So what I'll say is, okay, in this presentation, we're going to talk about YouTube marketing and how great it is and blah, blah, blah. So before we get started, if you guys want the free YouTube guide, that doesn't exist, this is an example, but if you want the YouTube guide, I'm going to put it in the description box below so you can download it at any point in this video. And then we move into the next step. Or if you don't have an opt-in, make sure to leave a comment if you have any questions below and we can get into the video now. So that little step is really important because it's going to give them some kind of idea of how they can reciprocate the value that you've given to them, and they can either like the video, comment, they can opt into your funnel, whatever it is. So that's a really important step. Next step we're going to move into is the meat, or the majority of entertainment and talking points. So this is where you actually talk about the topic of the video. So if we're talking about how to do proper warrior 2 pose, we actually teach that in the meat of the video. So this could be anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes, however long you need to make it, 20 minutes, whatever you want to talk about. So that's going to be a majority of the video. And then we move into the engagement, which is the E of our I am Echo acronym here, which is encouraging people to comment, like, share, and have a dialogue in the comment section. So this is really important. So after we talk about, say, intermittent fasting, for example, okay, those are all the 5 steps on how you can go about starting your own intermittent fasting regimen. So if you like the video, we really appreciate it if you'd give it a like and drop a comment if you have any questions below, or share it with a friend if you think it adds value to their life, or something like that, encouraging them to engage with the video. Because when you get more likes and comments and shares, again, YouTube's going to fire and say, okay, there's people engaging with this video. Clearly it's good, right? We need to encourage this more. So that's that piece. And then finally, which I didn't do in my GoPro photography video that has 230,000 views, is have a freaking call to action. So when people watch to the end, don't just say, thanks for watching, see ya. I want you to have a link to your landing page, an opt-in form, purchase form, whatever it is that's the ultimate ask that you want them to do. say it. Take 5 to 10 seconds and just make your plug. If people have watched past 5 minutes or 8 minutes, whatever it is, make the offer. That's what that now that you've gotten their attention, they're willing to at least hear your offer at that point. So, and then at the end, make sure you close your video out, say thanks for watching, and watch more videos on my channel. We'll see you next week or whatever it is, and you're done. Okay. So that's the general structure that I've used for almost all my education videos. It's improved my watch time significantly. People engage with my videos. I've had likes and shares, and I've gotten more of what I want, which is opt-ins and purchases for all of my online products and courses and stuff like that. So very, very important there. Okay, take a break for water, and hopefully everyone's still awake here. Okay, so we're coming up on the end of our session, looking at about 35 minutes or so, so I'm well ahead of schedule here, so that's great. We'll leave plenty of time for questions at the end. I really wanted to touch on here why the structure works, though. So, I mean, we talked about, yes, you can post on social media. There's a million other things you could be doing with your time. Why should I consider doing YouTube? And the really important thing is here that it grabs and holds attention, and making sure that your videos answer the person's search query. So if you have a video that says, learn intermittent fasting in 5 minutes, and you don't deliver on that, people aren't going to trust you, they're not going to subscribe, and they'll probably click off your video really quick and never watch any stuff that you put out again. Sounds really dramatic and whatnot, daytime Emmy type stuff, but it's true. People are looking for information, and there's a million other people out there that have similar stuff to you. So that's really important, is make sure that you're completely viewer-centric with what you do. Don't make your call to action in the first 5 seconds, being like, hey, now I've got your attention, go buy my thing. That's not how we want to do YouTube. It's the first touch, it's educational, it's inspirational, entertainment, whatever we're trying to do. So the next step here is making sure that you position yourself as a subject matter expert. So if you have 20 years of experience, don't be shy, mention that. I've been doing this for 2 decades, and I really have a lot of experience I'd like to share with you, and I think that's going to help you out. That's going to help build your authority with these complete strangers that don't know who you are. Again, I probably didn't even spend too much time on my authority in the beginning to talk about all the things I've done on YouTube, because I wanted to just get right into it and help you guys as much as we could. But that's a really important piece to the beginning of your video, because if people don't trust you or feel like you're a good resource, why should they listen to you, right? If I've never done anything on YouTube and I'm talking about this for half an hour and you're taking serious notes on, okay, I'm going to do these things, but I've never done it, that's not, helping you guys out. I want to make sure I prove that I've done what I've seen, and make sure that I'm, reinforcing that I'm the person you should be listening to because I have authority in the space. Same thing with what you're doing with your business. You want to make sure people know you're the person to talk to, right? Again, this is evergreen. So not only is this going to be something that will be out for a couple weeks, but it'll be months, years down the road. People can find you and still watch. So you're going to get traffic forever if you can rank your video in search, which if we follow those 6 R's, we will do that. Also, we want to make sure that this entices viewers to want more related information, right? The opt-ins cannot be, okay, this video is about intermittent fasting, download our guide that has nothing to do with intermittent fasting. We want to make sure that the video and the opt-ins and whatever are relevant to people, right? And then the really important thing, and why this structure works so well, is because it sends a consistent stream of new people to your call to actions. I have about 5 or 6 different landing pages that I've built throughout the years that are just running in the background. Again, I get 10 to 30, sometimes 60 people a week that opt into my funnels, go down the funnels, start purchasing things, or subscribe on YouTube, or join my Facebook group, or whatever I want them to do, all because I've set these things up and thought bigger picture, more strategy with them, right? So that's really the things that why this works really well. The key mindset shifts that I want you to think about, though, before we close out the session here, is really these main things here. So the good, we'll talk about the bad first, right? So a lot of people go on YouTube wanting to chase virality. I want to go viral on YouTube, and that's just not a sustainable way to do it. You're going to burn out, you're going to give up, and you're going to pander to people rather than helping them, right? The next step is you're going to waste your time making one-off videos for social. This is something I see with almost all my clients when they talk about doing video marketing. They're like, oh, Ryan, you make videos, right? Let's do some YouTube video, or let's do some Facebook posts or some Instagram posts. And I strongly encourage you not to do that if you're going to do a content marketing strategy. Focus on search-based platforms like Google, YouTube, podcasting, things that people go to a search bar to find content. That's where you want to be making your long-form content, and then make the one-off videos from the longer pieces like we talked about with that big rock approach. The next step is also, a lot of people are just really, really corporate and humanless. If you are running your brand, it's okay to be personal, right? A lot of people say, Ryan, should I do a a brand channel name or my personal name. And if you're just a solopreneur, I would encourage you to do it with your own personal, because you won't feel like you have to be really corporate-y. If you are doing a corporate one that's just your brand or your business, that's fine. But introduce yourself in the beginning. If you're the one person talking like me, I would say, hey, I'm Ryan with Snaadt Media Group, and then just be yourself. Like, then people aren't going to worry or judge too much. It's more of a human-to-human connection, right? And then the last piece that I see a lot of people do is they're really self-absorbed. Again, they're trying to sell. They're talking about themselves the entire video. They don't ever help people. And that's what we want to try to avoid. Get to the value, get to the juice, why people are there, and be customer-centric or viewer-centric, right? So those are the bad things. Avoid all those things, right? And then the next step here, we want to try to transition them to good behaviors or good mindset shifts that are going to get you over the hump and get you established with your business online. The first piece of that is to create helpful content and ask nothing in return. And I say nothing in return, but we're making small little asks throughout and giving a ton of value for 80% of the video and only asking 20% of the video. That's kind of the structure that I like to follow. Next is to create one awesome video, make it really, really good, and then chop that up into be your micro pieces. I see a lot of people are struggling, especially with trying to be on TikTok and Snapchat and Instagram, posting content for their fitness business, and they spend an entire afternoon making a TikTok. It gets 20 views or 200 views, and you never get to use it again, right? Make the one longer piece of content, chop that up to be 30-second pieces, make them vertical cut, whatever. Throw those on TikTok, throw those on Instagram, throw those wherever you want to go. And you're going to see a lot more time come back in your life, and you're going to have a lot more freedom to do other things in your business that you want to do. So really focus on that. The next step is to help your prospects with their problems or their questions. That's the best place to go. It's like your YouTube channel is going to be a huge sounding board, an FAQ, and you're going to learn a lot from doing this because you're going to see what people are asking questions about, and you would have maybe never even thought to do a video on that. But if there's a bunch of questions, now you have ideas to do more videos, right? And then always, always, always offer help before promoting yourself. I see so many people that get on YouTube, they're just talking about themselves. We don't want to do that. We want to try to be as helpful as we can and give people value right out of the gate. So those are really important. The first things really I wanted to talk about is, where do you start? So you've watched this whole video, this whole presentation. Okay, Ryan, YouTube sounds good, but what the heck do I do? Where do I start? The first step that I suggest you do is, if you don't have a YouTube channel, start one. It's free. All you need is a Google account. If you run your Google email through for your business already, great. Just start one up. If you're a solopreneur, I recommend doing it for yourself. Like mine is just Snaadt. Ryan Snaadt is my name of my channel. I don't have it as Snaadt Media. I do have one for my Snaadt Media channel, but it's only for finished work. It's not my videos. So start one for yourself or your brand. That's the first step. The second step is to share any existing content that you've already created, longer form videos or whatnot, on your channel, and use the 6 R's to rank those existing videos. That's like the lowest level of involvement, right? If you've made a couple videos about things that are educating people, go in, post those things, and follow that checklist that we talked about, the 6 R's. Make a title about it. Put the thumbnail that's really engaging. Put the description box that points to that thumbnail and the title. All the things we talked about earlier on in this presentation. Share any of those on there, and you've already got an established channel right there. The next step is, if you're going to commit to actually publishing, do a commitment of a set number of videos to yourself. So what I did with my channel when I first started was 52 videos, right? I'm doing a year's worth of content. It was a big undertaking as somebody that had never done it, but I learned so much about myself, how to create videos quickly and not really get hung up on the details, posting things. If you don't know how to shoot videos or whatnot, I have a bunch of stuff on my channel you can watch on how to light, how to use cameras, and all the different stuff that is important out there. And there's so much free information out there to learn. What I would just start with is just a selfie video, like put your phone on a stack of books or against a window and just talk, educate people. Start there. Don't get too hung up on things and you'll be great. So start there and then really ramp up over time. So once you get, gosh, I don't even know, like your first 10 videos are going to suck really bad. And that's okay. Like my first 10 suck. If you want to go back on my channel and watch them, they're still there, but we all start somewhere, and you got to give yourself some grace and realize you're not going to be an expert at this right out of the gate, but it's super important to your business, and it's an investment over time, right? We're trying to get that point across this whole entire presentation, that this is something that's going to impact your business much more than getting on TikTok. And I really do strongly believe in that, especially as a B2B business. That's helped me a lot, just get in front of people. Even if you're B2C, if you're just selling memberships for gyms or fitness apparel or whatever you're doing, These types of things are great because you're going to get your business in front of people that don't know who you are, that are finding you in search. And that's super, super important to do. So that's really where you start. I'm sure we can talk more on the live Q&A here in a second, but that's how you get going. So some of the resources I will give you guys before we get off here. First thing, like I said, download Keywords Everywhere and TubeBuddy. Those are some Chrome extensions that you can use to figure out when you're in that research phase of what videos are going to rank well and what can do really good. So that's the first step. Second step, people always ask me about camera gear. I'm not even a gearhead, and I own a video production company, own a bunch of cameras and lights and stuff like that. But I've condensed all my stuff here to kit.co-snaadt or /snaadt, SNAADT. So if you have any questions about like what gear I recommend for beginners, things that are like a whole camera kit under $1,000, or like if you want to get a really nice camera, whatever types of stuff, I have everything listed there. You can see all my reviews on different camera gear. Next place, also, if you just want to like copy what I'm doing or see some of the things I'm doing on my YouTube channel, feel free to look me up. I'm all over the place. Just look up Ryan Snaadt. Or if you want, you can search GoPro photography and my video is the number one that's there. That's a really quick way to do that. As well as I have a 30-minute video marketing training, which kind of touches on a little bit more of the stuff I talked about last year, which is the how to use video to promote your business, like your brick and mortar business. And you can find that free training on snaaddmedia.com. It's on the homepage there. There's a button halfway down that's like a big red button. So those are my 4 things that I can do to give you as much value or resources to get you off the ground. But I would also leave by encouraging you guys to try as hard as you can to think strategically about how you're going to get your business out there long term. Digital is so important. We want to really make sure that things are focused on the digital side, how you're going to get national attention on your brand, how you can become the authority in your space. So those are really, really important things to think about as you're looking digital and how things are going to be going here in the future. So again, here's my email. If anybody has questions or they want these slides, just shoot me an email. It's ryan@snaaddmedia.com. I can send over the slide deck or answer any other questions that you're not comfortable talking about in the live Q&A here. So I think I'm ahead of schedule here, about 46 minutes or so. I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for the time today. Really pumped to be here with the FBA conference and helping you guys with all things video marketing, YouTube. YouTube's helped me so much in my business. I've been asked to fly across the country and speak on different topics. I've been approached about business opportunities for my YouTube channel. I've made extra money through my business and all this other stuff from there. There's just been so much great opportunity that's come that way. And if I can impress anything on you from this conference is to get your brand on YouTube and commit to doing something strategic with your brand rather than just pandering and jumping around and trying to get on TikTok and trying to get on Instagram and juggling a million things at once. Shoot one long form video for YouTube, chop it up, and there's all of your marketing content for the entire month. That's my biggest suggestion right there. And I really encourage you guys as the year's going forward here to get really strategic with your marketing. So again, if you have any questions, feel free again to shoot me an email. I will send over the slides to you and answer any questions directly. And we can get into the live Q&A right now. So thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. My name is Ryan Snaadt. It rhymes with odd, and we'll see you in like 2 seconds. Peace.